Welcome back to the channel. A short while ago it was reported in Western media by Bloomberg that potentially 1.7 million people have lost their lives in China due to coronavirus. And as someone who lives here in China, I can tell you that is just absolutely ridiculous. And you've also got a lot of Western media criticising the zero COVID approach of China. But I want to give you now an example, a real world example, a real time example of how COVID is dealt with and how seriously it's taken here in China. So yesterday, in the very early hours of the morning, the previous day, actually before that, the previous day, some routine testing's done, and then overnight the results are processed. So in the very early hours of yesterday morning, 2 people here in Shenzhen were discovered to have contracted coronavirus. I just put a note, it was actually the Delta version, not the Omicron version strain. Anyway, the complex where that couple, it was a man and a wife, but the complex where that couple lived were identified in the very early hours of the morning, and the authorities took the decision to lock down that complex, that apartment block and some other surrounding apartment blocks in the very close proximity of where that couple lived. And then nobody was allowed to leave to go to work, and everyone was tested. Now, and obviously they wouldn't have been allowed to leave until they received a negative result. Now, due to those 2 cases, there was a whole sort of mechanism put into place. Now, the district of Shenzhen where that couple lived is Longgang, and I also live in Longgang. However, we're about 10 kilometers away from where that couple live. But by the morning, my partner was already receiving a message on her phone to say, when your daughter attends school, please fill in this registration form, as your daughter will be tested at school. Now, her daughter's 8 years old, so all the schools went into action, testing all the pupils. Sometime in the afternoon, we received messages on our phone, okay, you need, as a citizen of Longgang, Shenzhen, you need to go and have a coronavirus test. So I got back from the hospital about 9 o'clock last night after having a meal after leaving the hospital, and we went down to our local area where our testing was done, and it was just unbelievable. We were there, I think it's about 11 p.m. and there was literally thousands and thousands of people waiting. Now, my initial thought was, oh crikey, we're going to be here for ages and ages, but we actually weren't. We were probably there for no more than about 35 to 45 minutes, and the amount of things they'd set up, so we waited in the queue to go in. Everybody was masked, and there was a huge amount of volunteers there, and we funneled through, and yeah, we just got our test done. It was all done, and the authorities here, basically a lot of these volunteers, they all worked through the night, and as we were leaving there were still many people coming to get their coronavirus test, and we will get the result sometime the following day, and then we will, they will see if, and from what I understand, they're going on a mass testing of many districts in Shenzhen. Shenzhen has a population of 12.5 million, so hopefully, but it just shows you how, seriously the authorities here take coronavirus. For two cases, they're literally looking at testing 12.5 million people, and that's just phenomenal. Now, so, as I said earlier, these are all the people, and a lot of them are volunteers, and they're all working 24 hours across the night to make sure everybody in this area of the city gets tested. My only worry about China's zero COVID approach is what will be their eventual exit strategy, and that's something I really don't know. So if you have any thoughts on that, leave it down in the comments. But as always, for now, take care.